Hello everyone, welcome to chemistry class. Today onwards we begin the chapter number 4, the structure of the atom. In this video onwards we will be discussing in this chapter the various subatomic particles, means the smaller particles which are present inside a particular atom. How the study of the atom started and it has evolved to the present day. All these aspects we will be discussing in this present video onwards. This is the first part only of this chapter, and in the upcoming weeks we shall be discussing the topics related to the structure of the atom. So let us begin the chapter number 4. So as we all know that everything around us is made up of matter, and matter is surrounding us everywhere. Even our own body is made up of matter. Now what is matter made up of? Matter is made up of smaller particles. They are called as molecules, and molecules even are made up of atoms. So ultimately we can say that almost everything, whatever is surrounding us, whatever is inside us, whatever is in the universe, all the things are made up of atoms. So everything is ultimately made up of atoms. So therefore it becomes important to study about atoms, what these atoms are made up of. If everything is made up of atoms, we will focus on this chapter what this atom consists of, how it is made up of, what are the various particles which are present in an atom. So in the earlier days, there was an earlier thought that atoms are indivisible. We cannot break or divide a particular atom into smaller particles. But now, today, we know that they are made up of small particles called as the subatomic particles. Subatomic means the particles which are present inside the atoms. So today we know that there are certain subatomic particles. First one are called as the electrons, second is the protons, the third one the neutrons. Yes, three particles are there in a particular atom: electrons, protons and the neutrons. We will study about their discovery and related properties in details in the upcoming videos. For now you can mark this point in your line. Atom is made up of subatomic particles. What are they? First is electrons, second proton and third is neutrons. And because of this knowledge only, we have proceeded further developments in the science. Let us study how the idea of this atom emerged, how this concept came into prevalence. First of all, the views of Kannad. He was an Indian person, he was an Indian philosopher, and he gave this concept in 6th century BC. That is much earlier, even you can say almost 2600 years before from today. So what he said, Kannad said that matter is not continuous and it is made up of tiny particles. Ultimately, matter is made up of tiny particles. And what the name Kannad gave? He gave the name Parmanu. Kannad said all the matter, if everything is made up of small particles called as Parmanu. What is the meaning of this term Parmanu? It is a Sanskrit word, and in Sanskrit, Param means final or ultimate and Anu means particle. So final or ultimate particle. Parmanu means ultimate particle. So this is what was told by an Indian person much earlier. Later on, no one heeded to his views, and it was the next one. We will read the views of Democritus and Lycurgus. What he said: Democritus and Lycurgus, they were two Greek philosophers. They told in 5th century BC that what they said, on dividing a particular piece of substance, one would get a particle that cannot be divided further. They said if we keep on dividing everything, after repeated divisions, we will reach a particular level where we cannot divide that thing. That particular level, when we cannot divide that particular thing any further, that particular thing is called as atomos, and that word atomos, now today it is known as atoms. So this was a wrong concept actually. These Greek philosophers told that we cannot divide atom, and this was widely accepted. All the people accepted them. Yes, you are correct. And later on it was proved wrong. Who proved it wrong? We'll see it right now only. But for now you remember, Democritus and Lycurgus told that we can keep on dividing a particular substance to a certain extent only. The level or the particular extent where we cannot divide anything is called as atom. Atom cannot be divided. So the first time, what is their significance? That is only related to this term. The term atomos, and in English language we can say atom. This word was first time used by these two people, Democritus and Lycurgus. But their concept was wrong. Who proved it wrong? They were proved wrong by Dalton. So it was not very much earlier in the ancient days. After 2000 years from these theories of Carnot and theory of Democritus, the people were simply forgotten. No one paid heed it. They remained forgotten for more than 2000 years. Then came John Dalton in the year 2008 atomic theory. What he said now? John Dalton gave his very famous atomic theory, and these points are very relevant. You have to learn all of these. This is what we are going to learn is the atomic theory. So in this theory, John Dalton said many important things regarding an atom. First point is what he said, that elements are made up of tiny particles of matter called as atoms. Now John Dalton is telling in 1803, an Indian person, Carnot told when? He told in 6th century BC. When? That means around 2500 years earlier he has already told, but no one is listening to him. Okay, now in 1803 the whole world has paid attention in the atomic theory that elements are made up of atoms. Same thing Carnot also said, elements means matter is made up of Parmanu, that is atom only. So this is the first point we have seen in atomic theory. Next thing what he said is atoms are indivisible. This is a wrong concept. John Dalton again is doing the same mistake what Democritus has done. Democritus and Leucippus also said atoms cannot be divided. John Dalton also is saying, okay, for time being we can accept his theory is correct. Let us see what will happen in future. For now we will remember John Dalton said atoms are indivisible. Third point, the atoms of an element can have the same weight. All the atoms of a fixed element will have same weight. Like oxygen atoms, if we see oxygen atom, all the atoms in the oxygen will have same weight. Nitrogen atoms, the atoms of a nitrogen will have the same weight. I am writing 2. O2 means oxygen molecule. So atoms of oxygen molecule will have same weight. Similarly, atoms of nitrogen molecule all will have same weight. But if we say atoms of oxygen and nitrogen, will they have same weight? No. Oxygen elements weight is different. Similarly, nitrogen one is different. So we will have to pay attention only the atoms of same element will have same weight. Otherwise they will have different weight. So that is pointing here. The atoms of different elements have different weight, and in the third point the atoms of same element have same weight. Here you can write down also the atom of same element, so that confusion will not be there. Point number 5 now, it is the atom of the element that take part in the chemical reaction. Whenever any chemical reaction is going on, only the atoms will participate, molecules will not participate. For example, if we react to make water, hydrogen and oxygen are reacted. What is actually reacting? Hydrogen and oxygen molecule is not reacting. Hydrogen and oxygen atoms will react and they will make another molecule called as water. So only atoms will react. Molecules do not participate directly. Atoms take part in the chemical reaction. Last one, the combine in a simple numerical ratio with those of other element to form a compound. Always when a compound is formed, there is a fixed ratio of atoms. Like in same example we'll use, like in water, you can see H2 is written, that means 2 atoms of hydrogen are there, and O, nothing is written with O, that means only 1 atom of oxygen is there. If we see the ratio, it is 2:1. That is a fixed ratio. A simple numerical ratio is there. This ratio is of what? This is of number of atoms of the element. So this number of atoms which are present in a molecule will have a particular ratio that is told in this point. Always this ratio is maintained. Another example you can take like CO2. 1 atom of carbon is there and 2 atoms of oxygen is there. So ratio will become 1:2 for CO2. So likewise we can make different ratios for different compounds. Whenever compound is formed, this ratio will always be there. So that is you have to take care. So these are the different points. All these points you have to learn for atomic theory, and based on this the definition comes for atom. It is the smallest part of the element that take parts in the chemical reaction. Atom is the smallest part. Yes, it is that smallest part which will participate in the chemical reaction. So this is all for the atom definition. Now what the second point was there of this theory, atoms are indivisible. This was proved wrong. How it was proved wrong? It was proved wrong with the discovery of subatomic particle. Earlier we did not know there are some subatomic particle also. Some particles are present inside the atom also. But in the late 19th century it was proved that atoms are divisible. And the second point of Dalton's theory and the theory of Democritus and Leucippus, which suggested that atoms cannot be divided, it was told wrong. It is wrong, and now what we say? Now we will believe, and what we consider is atoms are divisible, and they are made up of 3 subatomic fundamental particles called as the electrons, the protons, and the third one, neutrons. These are the 3 subatomic particles which are present inside the atom. So this is the modern concept that atoms can be divided. Later on, we will read in the next video onwards this all things. We will see in details how these electrons, protons, and neutrons were discovered. So till here, what we have studied today, we have studied how the atom as a concept emerged. First of all, Conrad's view, then we have studied about Democritus and Leucippus, and then atomic theory of Dalton. And Dalton's theory, second point, that is regarding it, atom is indivisible, it was proved wrong with the discovery of subatomic particle. In the next upcoming video, the second part of this chapter, we'll see how the electron, proton, and neutrons were discovered, and the properties or characteristics of these subatomic particles we'll see in details. For today, we'll end the session now. Thank you.